bring us two absolute martinis. You know how I like them straight up. And then precisely 7.5 minutes after that, you're gonna bring us two more. Then two more after that every 5 minutes until one of us passes the fuck out.
It's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites, my killers who will not take no for an answer. My fucking warriors will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking
GM G to the M. Right morning, my friends. DJs, Diamond Hand Fam, Fortune Fuel Crew, Super Soldiers, Pioneers, Pivoters, Pursuers, Builders, Brothers and Sisters, Hermanos y Hermanas, Mamas y Papas, anyone I may have left out and anyone in between. Welcome back, and welcome into the best way to start your day. It's time to get fired up at Forging Fuel, baby.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
That's right, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time on episode 695 of Forging Fuel on this wonderful Wednesday morning. Hump day all day long. Send them air horns out far and wide. It's March the 26th, 2025, and we hope you're ready to come alive because we got more inspiration, more motivation, and more good vibration coming your way than you're going to know what to do with over the course of the next hour to hour and a half or so. Baby, if you don't know, you won't know. I am your humbled, honored, and clearly always hyped host, Colton Capp Soroka. And I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by, dive down those aforementioned rabbit holes with me and my guy, and get a little bit of that good, solid, quality, high-level inspiration and motivation. The joys of live podcasting. Now, before we dive in, before we can catch a single one of those aforementioned vibes, before we can begin to come alive on the opposite side, I must humbly ask you to do a few things. Maybe, if you can find it in that big old heart of yours to do so this morning on this fine program called Forging Fuel, maybe you could take just a quick moment to
Smash!
that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently adjusting the Forge and Fuel podcast on. If you are watching on the old YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell right over there yonder in some direction, right next to the subscribe button, so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping here on the channel. And if you're enjoying this morning's program, you might as well hit that like button right here in this direction so you can help that algo go and flow on the old tube of the U variety. Maybe you don't like YouTube. Maybe you like a little more censorship-free platform like the RUMBLE. Oh, yes, that's the platform for you and me. And if you're over there watching and laughing right now, maybe you could take a moment to smash that subscribe button. Maybe turn on that notification bell. And maybe crush that like button as well. And help the old algo go and flow on the Rumbell. Maybe you don't like either one of those platforms. Maybe your viewing platform of pleasure is over there on the old X app, the formerly known Bird app, the platform of all the truth, the real, raw, and open news that we need in this world. If you're over there and also tuning in to Forge and Fuel at the same time, maybe you could think about smashing a heart, maybe crushing a repost, hell, even smoking that quote post and letting the people know on your X timeline why you have decided to tune in live in prime time to Forge and Fuel this morning. And last, but certainly not least, if you are listening to the recording of this podcast on your favorite podcast directory like Apple, Amazon, or maybe even watching along on Spotify, maybe you could take a moment to give us a follow, leave us a 5-star rating, or in all honesty, just take a quick moment to smash the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, because it only helps us grow and flow on all those platforms as well. Nah, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh, lightweight, baby. Shout out. All you beautiful humming beings tapped in, tuned in, locked in live in prime time. Starting your day the right way here at F&F, baby. And has helped us get going and flowing in the algo by smashing those aforementioned buttons. But maybe you haven't. Maybe you're still sitting there thinking, why the hell do I need to do that? This is not my job. I am here to get motivated and inspirated. Why do I need to do something? I did not know I had to show up and do something. Well, hey, ho, ho, ho. I'm doing my job for you. As 47 and 45 just said, don't be rude. But I'm doing my job for you. I'm trying to get you fired up for another wonderful Wednesday. And maybe, As 45 and 47 also once said, we're going to do so much winning. There's going to be so much growth all morning long. You're going to say, Capp, no more growing. I cannot grow anymore. My notebook is absolutely filled up. I have too much insights on my notebook, too much growth. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep growing. More motivation, more inspiration. It's going to be unlike any other show you've ever seen before. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Don't be rude. Share this morning's program. And if maybe it makes you laugh, maybe it makes you cry, maybe it makes you think, maybe you could take a moment to not be a hoe and share the show. Be a friend, tell a friend, let somebody know, and we will proceed with this morning's program. How you doing? What up, everybody? Welcome back to Forge and Fuel, the best way to start your day, especially on a hump day, where maybe you got a case of the midweek blues. And if you do's, well, my friends, you gonna have them cured by the end of this show. You best know. But maybe you don't. So it's time to get on into it. It's time to start getting those vibes flowing, getting ourselves going. Maybe you're just hitting that first stretch of the day. Maybe you're
Good morning, Vietnam.
Maybe you're pouring up your first cup of Java, a little sippy sip. Maybe you've knocked down a whole doggone pot already. Who's to say, who's to know? Maybe you're still that sleep's a little brighter in here than usual. Whoa, the sun's coming out earlier. Shit. Maybe you're at the old gimnasio getting a little workout. Maybe you got me on your Bluetooth speaker and you're in there. Baby! Maybe you're in the shower getting squeaky clean and you got me on the Bluetooth speaker and you can hear me and you're wondering, what the hell was that sound just happened right there? You about slipped in your shower. I done scared you. Lightweight, baby. Maybe you're stuck in rush hour traffic, zipping and whipping and drifting through all them other crazy cannolis out there that are separated by a imaginary white or yellow line only this far, and you are zooming 80 miles an hour by all of them, and that little line is keeping you safe and protected and saying, hey, do not cross this or you might die. You ever thought about that? Maybe you're inside the four walls of your cubicle. Hell, I don't know where you are. Maybe your knuckles are dragging. Maybe you're shining bright. Maybe you're standing tall. Maybe you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Well, hey, if you did, get back in that son of a bitch and roll out of the right side of the bed. Maybe this is your right side of the bed. Who's to say, who's to know where you might be, but we appreciate the hell out of you tuning into this show. I see all you amazing human beings over there live in prime time in the chat. I got to turn all the way over here now, so sometimes I'm not ignoring you guys. My other monitor's over here now. I like to be locked in, looking right at you. Here we are, me and you, nice little connection every single day. Who's to say, who's to know, baby? But we begin this show this morning how we've never began it before. Excuse me. What?
Wait, what?
What's up? Well, yesterday, I referenced a very special young lady to me. I referenced one Aunt La. And I referenced a amazing trip that changed my life, changed my mindset, got me literally yesterday's motivation minutes, sharpening session. Wow, how about a Freudian slip there? Got me yesterday's sharpening session. Everyone has a backstory. What difference does it make? And I spent some time with Aunt La. Told you guys about Aunt La. And Aunt La and Uncle Lair are still very, very special to me. Uncle Lair has actually passed on. R.I.P. Uncle Lair. And actually looking at a picture of him right now. And I wanted to pull up a picture for you guys just to show you, I got to show some love to some people who I absolutely love in my life and show you a little legitimacy from the trip. There is your boy Capp with his goatee in all its glory. There's my boy Kirk. Uncle Lair was turning 21. And there's Anil. What a fucking picture. Oh, man. So, just so you guys know, you can say, does Aunt La not look like one of the most fun humming beings on the planet? Does that not look like somebody you would party till 4 in the morning with? Who's to say, who's to know? I'm just saying, all the stories I told you yesterday, all the good stuff, it's all true. So I just wanted to give a little love to Aunt La right there. Shout out to Uncle Larry. Shout out to my boy Kirk. Me and Kirk were actually talking yesterday. I sent him some pictures off of Time Hop. We had some pictures from us on the quad back in the day in our college days. He's like, what the hell were we doing? I said, being fags, trying to look cool for the ladies. We look so stupid. And he messaged me. He said, man, fuck, what I would do to just go back to those times. I said, man, ain't that the truth? We thought we had all the problems in the world. Everything was so bad. Life was ending. Boy, oh boy, would I would go back to be 2014, 2015, 2016, laying on a damn quad, looking up, saying, wow, I ain't got a worry in the world. I'm laying on a fucking quad at 2 in the afternoon, not even thinking about anything in the world. I thought I had problems then. Who's to say, who's to know? But shout out to those amazing human beings. Got some fam in the chat that knows exactly who they are. But after that shout out, we begin the same way we always begin, my friends. And if you don't know, you won't know. We begin this show not all buttoned up, not all down and deep into the rabbit holes, trying to confuse you and make you all question reality and what the hell is even going on. Cap, I just woke up. I had my first few sips of coffee. Chill out. We understand. So we like to begin this show according to a man, the late, great Jim Valvano. And he said, in order to have a full day, you got to laugh, you got to cry, and you got to think. Now, I take it upon my shoulders to help you do that here on this show. Now, we can definitely check the box of laughing guaranteed here momentarily. You will most likely think, and it is up to you if you laugh hard enough to cry, or maybe you got your emotions moved all the way to tears this morning. Who's to say, who's to know what happens? But we're going to start by checking box number 1 with your morning laughs, my friends. 1, 2, and 3 morning laughs coming your way on this wonderful Wednesday. Laugh number 1 is going to be very near and dear to the heart of Mr. Producer, who I haven't shouted out yet this morning. Derek Deasy Snow, live in the building. That's where all the damn sounds are coming from. Forgive you me. Doggone it, Deez, I'm sorry. Derek Deasy Snow, the lightweight slanging, iron pumping, volleyball. Lightweight, baby! What up, Deez? Shout out, my guy. We always say hi, waved at you, I said hi this morning, and then now you're here. Sorry, I didn't mean to not shout out Deez. That's my guy. Shout out. But speaking of D's, this first clip here is going to be near and dear to the heart to old Mr. Producer. You make the best shows, Mr. Producer. You lift that lightweight, Mr. Producer. So, this morning, my friends, we go to a place where Mr. Producer used to find himself all the time. Maybe even on Wednesday nights in a doggone league. Bruh. Yeah, that's right. If you don't know, you won't know. This man is a certified bowler supreme. He used to sit there like doggone Walter on the Big Lebowski, looking at every single move. Stepped over the line! I mean, he used to have them up. He'd ring them up. So, my friends, we go to the lanes and watch a subtle video of some friends bowling. And a reminder that if you ain't bowled in a while, maybe you might want to take a little easy. Leave it to the professionals. 3, 5, 4, Bro, somebody really said, you gotta play it one more time. Somebody really said, fee, fi, fo, fum, as he's coming.
Oh, that hurts my head, dude. Ah, fuck.
Oh, well. That boy's in a daydream. That is a fact, Jack. Who's to say, who's to know? So, man, you might want to remember they oil up those lanes. And some bowling alleys, they don't wait 7 to 12 weeks in between oiling sessions. They do it every single morning, ready to rock and roll. And boy, you might say, right down that some bitch. Or also, a reminder, don't get a ball too small and get your fingers stuck in there. And maybe you're too tiny and you throw the sucker and all of a sudden you go down like Superman and your ass is going down there to take out the bowling pins. I'm not saying I ever did that or anything, but who's to know? I've seen some crazy shit happen on the old bowling lanes. I wasn't as ever professional as these, but we used to go have some fun at the old El Dorado end zone and El Dorado Bowl, if you know. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to Cater. Huh, the OG days. Well, speaking of the El Dorado end zone, which was like a sports bar, if you will. It had bowling, it had billiards, it had TVs everywhere. It was kind of honestly before its time in Decatur. Owned by the one and only Teddy Bear. I actually got a tip of Teddy Bear over there. Amazing, man. And, sometimes they'd have, especially this time of year, March Madness. The fans would be in there going crazy. They'd have football. People would be going wild. Basketball. It was the place to be. And maybe you've been in a place like that before. Or maybe you've even been live in an event. And you were just excited as all could be because your team was winning. The vibes were great. The people around you were amazing. And boy, oh boy, you just were giving it all you had. Now, maybe things ended well for you, but my friends, for this lad, they did not end so good. I don't think people realize what happened right there. He stepped on the bleachers and domed himself. He domed himself. At first, I thought somebody threw the bleacher at him. I was like, whoa, what the hell? That was a man in a business suit. How did that happen? No, old Chubby Tubby, a little bit too big to be stepping on one end of that bleacher there, and it reminded him quick, fast, and in a hurry. Thunk. And he looked up just saying, what planet am I on? What just happened? I mean, instant CTE. The man, he didn't even remember he was at a soccer game. I mean, he was calling it soccer for crying out loud. He was at football 2 seconds ago. Now he's calling it soccer. Done hit him so hard he turned American. I don't know. Shit. Whew. Be careful. If you're on the bleachers, be careful. Jeepers, creepers. Well, now that we're on the seeming topic of people injuring themselves and laughing at their expense, I figured we should just keep that topic going, keep that vibe flowing. And maybe you've heard of something called a wine tour. Maybe you've gone out to one of them vineyards and you've gone from station to station and place to place and seen the beautiful spread and tried all their delicacies. Maybe you really enjoyed it. Maybe you loved it, but maybe it just didn't have the zip that you were looking for. Maybe you needed just a little bit more oomph behind the wine. You say, you know, this is cool, but I like to be a little more active. Well, that was never something I said, but apparently it was a problem in the market. And somebody came up with a solution and said, you know what? We're not being active enough while we're tasting this wine. We need to make wine bicycle tours. We need to allow people to work off some of this alcohol. We need to let them do a little exercise, but also have some fun sipping their wine and rolling around the vineyards. Well, it started out as a great idea. And then people realized that they were basically promoting drunk driving. So, my friends, we check in on one of those wine tours and see just how great bicycling and drinking gallons of fermented grapes really go hand in hand.
What happened?
I had a bit going on, it wasn't that hard.
What do you mean?
Resuming.
There was lots.
Oh, are you right? Are you okay?
Oh, shit.
Are you okay? Are you right? Oh, are you,
Oh,
are
shit.
you okay? Fuck. What happened?
I had a bit going on, it wasn't that hard.
What do you mean?
Just disappears.
There was lots.
Oh, are you right? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you right? Oh, are you okay? Fuck.
But she just disappeared.
Bruh.
She's all stumbling. Tell me that wasn't a cartoon. Just disappear.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Oh, shit. Whew. Well, I offer my sincerest apologies to all three of those humming beings who had to go through some injuries to get us some morning laughs, and we could laugh at their expense. Oh, shit. There is bowling, soccer fans, or just really excited fans, and a little subtle reminder that maybe wine tours, well, wine bicycle tours, maybe aren't the best idea. There are your morning laughs, my friends. Oh, boy. Feeling good about those. Hope you're feeling great about them. Hope they've started to get a little energy going in you, tickle a little funny bone or two. Who's to say, who's to know? But my friends, as you continue to wake up, as you continue to feel these vibes, as you continue to sip on a little bit of Java to get you feeling right inside. Oh, hello, Matilda. No, not very loud this morning. You want to say anything to the people? You want to say something to the people? Oh, let's see if we... Hey, where'd you go? You want to say something to people? No, she gone. She knows I'm going to pick her up, so she just messes around under there for a little while, and then when I start moving, then she dashes away. Out the door she goes. See you later, Matilda. Everybody says hello. Well, friends, as I see over there in the chat, all those videos making me hurt, says Mama Capp. Lots of laughs. Apparently you guys liked them this morning. Glad you did. Glad you're feeling good. But maybe you didn't resonate with them. Maybe you're just tuning in. Maybe you missed the morning laughs. Maybe you're not all the way there. Maybe you tune into this show saying, hey, I like the laughs and everything, but, you know, I need something. I need a little oomph, a little fire under the keister, a little kick in the pants, if you will. I'm feeling a little down today, and I need a little help getting back up. Well, if that sounds like you, or if you're just looking for a little motivation and inspiration to add to your mental tool belt, if you will, well, you came to the right place. So, my friends, I tell you to get out a fresh sheet of notebook paper accompanied by a pen or a pencil, maybe an iPad and a magic pen. If you're a little more old school, maybe a long piece of parchment, a nice feathery quill, and a big old jar of ink. Whatever you might need to keep track of the knowledge and insights about to come your way, because we are about to get into your first segment of the day, where we refine that mindset a little bit. We get it nice and sharpened up. We take those battle weapons that we have to use on the daily battlefield every single day, and we put them down on the file and get those edges nice and sharp again. If that sounds like something you might need, my friends, well, strap in, tap in, lock in as we get into your first segment of the day. It is time for your sharpening session. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time for your first official segment of the day. It is your sharpening session here on episode 695 of Forge and Fuel. Wow, ain't that kind of crazy to say that? Whew, 5 away from 700. Well, 4 away now. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, no, 7, 4. Well, 4 away. Whatever. You know the math close enough. But here we are once again, episode 695 on this wonderful Wednesday morning, March the 26th, 2025. And I hope you're ready to really come alive and not just from the Java in your coffee cup. Uno momento, por favor. But also from the vibes about to come from this screen. I hope you're ready, my friends, because we got a nice little topic here this morning. A little topic where you're going to learn a little bit more about your host and why I have decided to go down the path that I'm on. What originally got me in these lanes? What unlocked my super soldier mindset? What started me on all of this crazy growth stuff I try to do every single day? Well, first I got to tell you the title of the opening segment of the day. If you didn't see it, let me be the first to say that this morning's opening topic is: you can choose to fold or flourish. You can choose to fold or flourish. And my friends, as I just said, I was sitting back the other day thinking, where did all this start for me? Where did this mindset begin to unlock? The super soldier mindset I always talk about. Where did that originate from? What is this? Where did it come from? Start thinking about it. I found a really specific time in my life that everything kind of snapped. Everything kind of switched. I started to think about it, and I realized maybe it would be a great opportunity to share that story. Maybe somebody has kids who are in this exact place. Maybe they're in an area where they can apply this story. I don't know what it is, but I felt moved in my heart to share it this morning. So where did all this start for me? When did I start unlocking the super soldier mindset? Well, before I can tell you that, I got to tell you that contrary to what you might believe, I was bullied relentlessly, kindergarten through 8th grade. I was always the ugly duckling, the odd one out, the black sheep, if you will. Kindergarten through 8th grade, I went to a Lutheran parochial school. If you don't know what parochial means, it means it is a school tied to a specific religion and a specific church within that religion. When you know it, I didn't go to that church, so that made me even more of a black sheep. And God bless Mama Capp. She was doing everything she could, making ends meet, busting her ass, staying up, working through the night while I was asleep to put me into that school, to make sure I had clothes and shoes and was dressed and had an opportunity to learn. Did I have the same clothes as everybody else, the nicest clothes? No. Did I have the nicest shoes as everybody else? No. And I got picked on endlessly for it. I was never as cool. I never had the latest and greatest. I never was in the now with however much in the now you can be between kindergarten to 8th grade. And I never really stood up for myself. I kind of did. I got in a few little fights, little scraps here, whatever, but it was never I was never, like, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm good." I was always getting bullied. There were always people, and I can think of names right now, and it's funny, I've actually connected with some of those names, and 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 boy, how things have changed. It's funny. It is sure funny how times change. However, I get to 8th grade, and there's this wild situation that happens in my life. Long story short, I was being a really bad kid, and a pot deal went south. I was kind of a middleman, didn't really have anything to do with it, but got all tied up in it because kids like to tattletale. Yeah, it was the end of 8th grade. I was almost in high school. Relax, chill out. I was like 13 or whatever. And we were basically smoking dirt back then. So, I've made mistakes in my life. Okay, judge me for it all you want. So through this whole thing happening, I became more of the black sheep of the school. And I had to do some things, and the bullying got worse. And the people that got tied up all in it thought that I had got them tied up in it when they were the ones that got me tied up in it. I could never even wrap my mind around it. But after this situation happens, the bullying gets worse. And we have this thing, the Decatur celebration, and I'm down there, and we get into this heated thing with me and the other guys and all this shit. And it's just, it's a mess. It is a mess. And that was kind of this culmination of all this bullying, right? And I realized I was kind of afraid. I had fear. I didn't want to fight. I didn't really know how to protect myself. I'd watched some UFC, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't know anything. And so I was afraid. And I was always smaller. I was never the big guy. I was athletic, but I was always tiny. I'm only 5'8" now. I have to bust my ass in the gym just to even get any muscles, for crying out loud. So there came a point where Mama Capp started getting pretty fearful too. She wanted me to be able to defend myself. She didn't want me to be out there just floating, getting my ass kicked. And if something happened, if something came up, she wanted to know that I was going to be okay, that I could stand across from any man and not fear that man and be able to defend myself no matter what happened. So she decided to sign me up for karate classes. Bando Ryo karate, as a matter of fact, at the DeVore Academy. And I'll never forget the first day I walked in there, and I just felt the energy. It was something I had never really felt before. It was like a presence, like that peace and that presence and just this fire that we always talk about, but I didn't know what it was back then. I walk in, and my mom starts talking with Hanshi DeVore, Jeff DeVore, shout out to the legend himself. And I just see how this guy is carrying himself, and it's like unlike I've ever seen before. And he starts asking me questions, and he's treating me with just so much respect, even though I'm this young kid. I'm 13 years old. Like, yeah, he don't need to give me the respect that he's given me. He's obviously attained much more in his life. And we decided we're going to sign me up for karate. We're going to do this stuff. So I start taking some of the karate classes, and I realized that they offer stuff additionally outside of that, like cardio kickboxing, as you may have heard before. They had other little kickboxing classes and stuff like that. And after my first couple karate classes, I fell in love. I absolutely fell. I had already watched the UFC, but being able to do the things that I was seeing on TV and learn them and the science behind them, I fell in love. It's like, I want to do this the rest of my life. Well, how much did that work out? However, I start to take some of these kickboxing classes and different things they offer, just because I'm in love with the science and I just want to try. And wow, I found something where I have meaning. I have purpose. Holy shit, I got something here. Let me just try it all the time. I want to be here all the time. Mom, just drop me off. Pick me up at 8 o'clock, whenever. I don't care. Drop me off in the morning. Pick me up whenever. And I started to get better and better at the craft. And I didn't realize what happened. I look back and I realized what was happening. I was showing my commitment. I was showing how much I wanted to take something to the max. I was showing how much I was willing to just try and check something out. So after a few months, Hanshi DeVore approaches me, and he says, "Hey, you really liking this, huh?" I said, "I love it." Every moment of it, you and Sensei and everybody and all these guys I'm starting to meet, and Colton Creason. I mean, I look up to him. I want to go watch one of his fights. This is amazing. He said, as a matter of fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I said, fights? What? So what do you think about joining the fight team? And I said, joining the DeVore Academy fight team? He said, yes, joining our fight team. I said, I would be honored. I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. Because at that point in time, in Decatur, Illinois, the DeVore Academy fight team was the fight team. It was the team that everybody far and wide wanted to be a part of. And because of the effort I put in, I didn't know it. I was just a fucking kid. I got the opportunity to be on that team. And through that team and through training consistently, I was crazy enough to not only lock myself in a cage once, but twice with another human being and engage in human cockfighting. And it is one of the most exhilarating experiences I can ever tell you in my entire life. And I just continued to try and do more and be more and get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and learn the science of 8 limbs, Muay Thai, and learn how things worked and learn the discipline behind it all. So I tell you all of this, my friends, to tell you the moral of the story. The moral of the story is it all started with fear. It started with me being afraid of being bullied. It started with my mom being afraid of me getting my ass kicked. It all started with fear. And from that fear, I was given the opportunity to either flourish or fold. I could either stand tall or I could pack it in and be like everybody else. I could be like the 99% and not know how to defend myself, or I could do something that only 1% of human beings do. And I realized that almost every great change in our life starts from fear. Starts from a fear of the unknown. Starts from a fear of not being able to pay a bill. Starts from a fear of not knowing if you can cross that bridge. But that moment of fear allows you to either fold or flourish. And most people, they will fold. They will pack it in. That's why if everybody wanted to be a millionaire, they could, right? It's not possible is what I'm trying to say. Everybody wants to be a millionaire, but it's not possible, right? Everybody wants to be. It doesn't happen. That's why so many people fold. That's why so many businesses fail within the first 3 years. People don't want to get over the hump of not making any money. Hey, I'm here to tell you, if you want to get into entrepreneurship, the first 3 years of your business, you are going to make $0. Zero. And the first 2 years, you're probably going to go in the red. And if your accountant says, wow, you're only down about $3,000-$4,000, that was a great year. And you go, oh, what the hell? Trust me, it's part of the game. It's part of the norm. You're all good. It is the game. And that's what people don't understand. Oh, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to dive out into the world. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. But they don't realize that it's not even close. You are everything. Judge, jury, and executioner. You don't just be a slave. You don't answer to somebody else. You are the only person that answers to you. There's nobody that wakes me up to start this show every morning. I have to start it. Nobody wakes DZ up to be the producer. He's got to have the gumption to want to show up and be the producer. It all emanates out of fear. And, to think of a visual, fear happens in the dark, in the unknown. When you're laying in bed, you're all tucked in and you're in the unknown, and oh shit, the monster's under the bed. Oh. That fear, you could fold the covers over your head. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to change. I don't want to do better. Or you can rip them sons of bitches off, throw on a nightlight, go stand tall, or fuck the nightlight. Throw that bitch across the room. You were born in the dark. You know what the dark is. So go stand tall and slay the monsters under the bed and flourish while you're doing it. That's what you're literally doing when you play into fear and you allow it to fold. You're staying in bed and putting the covers over your head and not going and fighting the imaginary monsters under your bed. Notice how I said imaginary? Because all of these fears are in your imagination. They're not real. They're only things that you cook up in your mind of what could, might, should, would, happen. But then guess what? You go through the damn thing, and then it never ends up happening the way you think it happens. So why not have the positive mindset about it? Why not get to that fear and say, you know what? I don't know how, but I'm going to flourish through this. Why not, when you get that opportunity to take the karate class, go to kickboxing, try Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and maybe it's not mixed martial arts for you, but when you get that one little thing, why don't you take it to the max? That's the moral of the story. When you have fear, you can use it to fold you or flourish you to the max in either direction. Either direction. And if you want to fold, you want to pack it in, you want to be like everybody else, more power to you. But I know if you're tuning into this show, if you're listening to what I'm saying, if you're fired up right now, you want to be different. You want to take it to the max. So do it. Do that, my friends. And I'll also leave you with these acronyms, and then got a little something else for you. I realized how important fear is. Because fear is not just a word. It's not even in my vocabulary anymore. I don't understand fear. It does not compute. It doesn't work in me, right? So how is that? Because I have taken that word that has a meaning in a dictionary and I've turned it into an acronym. And when you turn it into an acronym, you look at it these two ways. You can say, I can do this or I can do that. I can forget everything and recede, or I can face everything and rise. Forget everything I've done, walk to this path, all the trials, tribulations I've turned into triumph already, and I can recede back to whence I've came. Or I can face everything knowing that I've faced worse than this before and rise above it to the occasion, to the next level of my life. Because each new level of my life requires a brand new version of me. And through mixed martial arts, I realized the big three. It was actually the moniker of the fight team for Team DeVore. Discipline, attitude, respect. And I realized that's where it started for me. That's where the mindset happened. And from the age of 13 to 29 right now, all I have been trying to do is work on my discipline, my attitude, and my respect. Showing up, doing what others won't do, having the right attitude about it, not bitching, moaning, and complaining, and showing others respect who show me respect. Yes, sir, no, sir. Bowing to the mat before you step on it. Being grateful that you have this opportunity to even be on the mat. If you can just think about your discipline, your attitude, and your respect, maybe even your respect for yourself, tell you what, you'll start unlocking a lot of keys. You don't know what to work on. You don't know how to get better. Start working on your discipline, your attitude, and your respect. And really, when I realized this, I realized DAR, I realized fear. This is the thing that unlocked the mindset. And from that moment on, I can't go back. I can't recede because I see. And if you see it too, if you know there's more to life, then don't be ignorant to it. The Diamond Hand Media Group quote of the morning: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You know what you need to do. We all know what we need to do. We know how to be better. We know the things we need to work on. We just choose not to because we're afraid. We're afraid that if we put in all the effort, it will be null and void. So instead of just giving ourselves the chance to flourish, we choose to just fold. And I speak from experience. I've folded or had the opportunity to fold, but I've never folded. I've had the cards. I've looked them up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, shit. And I still make the call. And I promise you, if you keep making the call, it'll come all the way back around the table and you just might get a good flop. Maybe it might be the turn. Hell, it might even be the river. But I promise you how you don't know is if you fold your cards back into the deck. Huh. Well, that came together there pretty good. Who's who's to know? Well, I mentioned I had a little something addition, little something special. Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe you think I just made all of this up. Maybe you think, oh, yeah, bullshit. I know Colt. He was never a fire. But no way. Okay.
Wrong.
Sure. Yeah, no. We can definitely say that. That's why I brought a little bit of, evidence to the show today, my friend. So wanted to just go back, and maybe you have been thinking about getting into mixed martial arts yourself. Maybe you got kids. Maybe I'm telling you what, being surrounded with a group of guys like this, being involved in something greater than yourself like this is one of the most rewarding things you can possibly do. And I'm telling you what, I've been thinking about getting back into just some form of mixed martial arts, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, something simple, getting DZ into it, and doing it together. And man, it's just so damn powerful. So let me show you some things here. Shout out to my old fight team, Devore and JG MMA, the legends right here. Holy shit! Blast from the past. Look at look at this kid. Oh yeah. So this is some of the OG guys. Josh Stewart, that's my boy. He's actually a ref for the UFC right now. The man, the myth, the legend. Sugar Shane Somidi, RIP to the legend himself. Merle Williams, what a dog. My man Vince, the real deal. Ezeel. My boy Logan Kearney. I mean, these are just some high quality people right here. High quality people. And I got some more for you. Got some more. It got a little bit bigger. We have more teams. This is when we were with John Gason's Mixed Martial Arts. We merged the teams. We went to JG MMA in Springfield. My tiny little ass. That's hilarious. That's just absolutely great. You got to love that. There's a nice little poster for you if you've never seen that. One of my favorite photos ever taken of me on a mat. Me being a fucking clown, as always. There's a little something for you. And also there is Josh Stewart about to choke me unconscious. I was seeing Black Star. See, Hansi Devore. Now that's Hansi Devore, Jeff Devore right there that I was shouting out. He's not really a tight grip. He's not even a tight grip over here. That's my boy Jake Constant. And me, I'm about to die. I can't even look at the camera. What you don't know is I am an inch from going to the shadow realm. I mean, I was seeing colors when he let go of this choke. What an asshole, man. I tell him that all the time. Shout out to Josh Stewart. Proud of hell of that guy, man. He is out there crushing the game. There's another OG for you. Who's to know? My guy, Lucas Lopes, straight from Brazil. Bruno Vase. I rolled with that guy. That dude, look how big that dude is compared to me. And one of the best experiences rolling that I've ever had. Colton Creason. We kind of look similar, don't we? That's my boy, Colton Creason. Oh, man. Shout out to the dogs, man. The OGs right there. But you might also say, well, hey, you're cool. You did fight team. Oh, you're so cool. Wow, oh, yeah, that's so great. Man, what else? You don't think that I ever got into cage? You thought I was lying about that? Okay, well, fine. We brought that to the show too. Fuck it. So here's just a little bit, and we'll show the decision. We won't watch the whole fight. Maybe I'll post the whole fight on X if you want to watch it. Who's to say, who's to know? But this is just the beginning. You can see the whole team. You can see Hansi Devore, and there's also somebody else that I'm going to point out here too. So roll that fight, D's. One time for the one time. Oh, I want to get back in the cage. Ah! The man putting Vaseline on my face right now is Hanshi Gaston, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him in just a second after this clip. So just so you know, we don't have to watch the whole doggone fight. I'll post the thing, but just so you guys know. And if you were wondering how that one went, we'll just, again, I'll post it out a little bit later if you're wondering how that all. Hey, Deez, if you wouldn't mind, roll that decision for me, guy. Who's to say, who's to know?
Combat. Yeah, that's what it's all about. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to the scorecard. Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges scored this bout the same way. 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the red corner,
I'll post a full clip of that one out there too, a little later on today. But just a little something, a little blast from the past. Who's to say, who's to know? From bullying to bullying in the cage. Who's to say, who's to know? Mama Bear said it in there, and I just share all of that because it's possible for anything, it's for anything you're doing in life. It is possible to take it that far. It is possible to take it to the extreme. And, if certain things wouldn't have happened, maybe I would have taken that into a full-time profession. There were a lot of guys on that team who did end up turning pro, and who's to know where things might have gone? Who's to know? However, I did mention Hanshi Gaston, John Gaston, the man, the myth, the legend. And if you follow me on Instagram or a little bit more on Facebook too, you may have seen me interact with him a little bit. He shares out some of my things. We go back and forth in the comment section here and there. We've kind of reconnected over the last year or so here. And I've been having some conversations with old John Gaston, and who's to know if we're not working some things for the future and maybe an appearance on a show. Who's to know? I don't know. Maybe you should keep your eyes peeled and ears open, and maybe we just might carry this on next week. Who's to know? But my friends, there is your opening segment of the show. You can choose to fold or flourish. The moral of the story: change emanates from fear. You can use it to fold or flourish. What are you going to do? Well, my friends, hope you got you some good notes. Hope you know a little bit more about your host. Hope you're thinking, wow, I didn't know all of this. Or maybe you did know. Maybe you just got more to the story. Who's to say, who's to know what it might be? Also, shout out my boy Ben Gray. That was who I was fighting in that video. Shout out Ben Gray. When you share time in a cage with another human being, you are just kind of like forever etched with that person. It's kind of crazy. It's wild how it is really wild how that happens. Shout out Ben Gray. Big love, big respect to that guy. But it's time, my friends, to get into your second segment of the day. It's time to pop up some more clips, some clips from some other high-level human beings, and see what they got to say and give you some more perspective on the new topics at hand, baby. So without further hesitation or delay, let's get into your second segment of the day. It is time for your Reaction Refinery. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time on your second segment of the day, your reaction refinery. And we're ready to do a little reacting, little insight sharing, little perspective diving down some new rabbit holes here this morning. And we got 3 high-level humming beans joining. Well, actually 4 high-level humming beans joining us. I just don't know the 4th one. I couldn't find his name. He's got a podcast. He's got some stuff he's going out there. He's a younger fella. So if you know him, drop his name in the chat. But that's the 4th and final clip of the day. So speaking of, let's get into your first clip of the day, my friends, which features a man who I am a massive fan of. He's given me tons of knowledge, insights, perspective over my time here refining these mindsets, thinking more and more on perspective and doing the hard things, discipline, attitude, respect, all this good stuff. My friends, one of my favorite motivational speakers out there, the man, the myth, the legend, Inky Johnson. Ink, here this morning to give us some perspective on Get the Lesson.
Gift even when pain is your teacher. Don't miss the lesson, right? Get the lesson when you fail. Get the lesson when you come up short. Get the lesson when it don't go your way. Get the lesson when you don't get what you want. Get the lesson when they don't say to you what you expected to hear. Get the lesson then. Because oftentimes we get the lesson when it plays in our favor. We get the lesson when it goes our way. We get the lesson when we get the victory. Get the lesson when you came up short. Do you watch the film when you failed? Do you watch the film when you got beat? Do you watch the film when you got, I'm talking about destroyed? Get the lesson then, right?
Get the lesson. Get the lesson. You know, it's funny, just what he's talking about right there, of how we learn the lesson when things go the way we want them to. When we have that moment of fear and we take the leap of faith and everything works out perfect. Oh, I see why that happened. Oh. But when things don't work out according to plan, that's when people fold. That's when people give up. That's when people say, oh, I don't know. I can't do this. Oh, no, I got to try something else. And they never learn the lesson. They never get the opportunity to continue going down that path. Those moments in life where you have that fear, everything I've talked about here over the first segment, where you can either fold or flourish, that is your decision. You can't do anything else but either take action and learn, or don't take action and stay ignorant. It's that simple. And so many people, when they don't get what they want, and I've been victim to it before, you just fall down in the dumps. Woe is me. Life is so hard. Start dragging your knuckles. And one bad circumstance turns into a bad day, turns into a bad week, turns into a bad month, a bad year, and then a bad life. And you're just in this negativity your entire life. You can't figure out how the hell to get out of it, when it's because you're not learning the lesson, because life isn't going the way you anticipated it, but maybe it's trying to teach you something else. Maybe you're supposed to learn a different lesson. Maybe you're trying to do it your way, and it's not about your way. Maybe it's releasing control of the wheel of the car of your life and letting him drive it for you. Maybe you have no ability to dictate anything or accomplish anything. Everything that you have is a gift, is a thought from him. But do you notice how when you have that and you start to try and do it all your way, and oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it look like this, and I'm going to work this way, instead of, he gave you the gift, so why would he not give you how to do the gift and how to bring it into existence? If he gives you the trial, he's going to give you the way to make it through the trial and turn it into a triumph. There will never be anything in your path that you can't handle. Your future is already written. It's already known. But we, with human will, with the ability to make our own decisions, get off the path. We don't connect with our Creator. We don't learn the lessons that He's trying to teach us because we want to do it our way. We want to go our own way. We want things to happen our way. But we didn't give ourselves this place. We were given the opportunity to be here. We won the 400 trillion to 1 lottery. It's not our place to try and make things or have things be a perfect way. All you have to do is just show up. Just show up and let him guide you. And when things don't go right, don't throw up your hands. Don't give up. Don't pack it in. Say, all right, what am I supposed to learn from this? And if the faster you can learn, the faster you can gain that lesson, the faster you're going to bounce back. The faster you're going to keep going down the path. But far too often, we just get lost in all the sauce of the losses and forget that really they're lessons. Shout out Enki Johnson. Get the lesson. Your second clip of your second segment of this fine morning program features a man who I'm also a fan of. A man who I have actually visited his facility. That would be the one First Form facility. Some of you tuning into this show may have even had an opportunity to be there and maybe even look at this podcast studio that he's about to join us from. Live from the Real AF Pod. Andy joins us this morning for a little perspective on punishment or purpose.
Looking at difficult times like it's some sort of punishment. We have to stop looking at difficult times like it's some sort of punishment. We have to stop looking at difficult times like it's some sort of curse or we have it harder than everybody. Motherfucker, every single person that you have ever looked up to has gone through many times where they felt like they were at the end. And we have to start appreciating these times for what they actually are. These are not times where the journey ends. These are not times where we get beat into submission. These are not times where champions decide to quit. We have to start looking at these times as the times that forge us, that build us, that create us, that give us the valuable skills that we need to build what it is we're trying to build, to become what it is we're trying to become, and to create what it is we are trying to create.
Only way Andy can say it, man. Oh, man, that's some good stuff. Is it a punishment or is it simply just your purpose? Do you need therapy or is it just another Tuesday? You know, posted that video out yesterday. You know, the things that happen in life, the bad times, they're not really bad times. That's why I always say, is it a loss or a lesson? Is it a trial, tribulation, or a chance to triumph? Is it a failure or a brand new opportunity to flourish? Is it an obstacle or an opportunity? It's all in how you look at it. It's all in your mind. And I know how easy it is to fall into the trap of things are going bad. Woe is me. I don't know how to figure things out. It's the end. Oh no, I got to pack it in. Well, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Do whatever you can to stay on that rope. Keep putting in the effort. Because if you make it through the trial, it will turn into a triumph. If you make it through the loss, it will turn into a lesson. If you make it through the failure, it will become a new opportunity to flourish. But for some reason, we don't realize that. That's the polarity of life. That's how it works. That's how we grow. That's how we become more. But people want to avoid the fear and the hurt and the pain. Every single thing you have been through in your life has led you up to this moment. Every hurt, every pain, every trial. Think about it. The pain you're going through right now, all the pain you have been through before has made you strong enough to be able to deal with it right now. If you had not previously gone through all of that bullshit, if you've not dealt with the loss and the hurt and the tears and the blood and the sweat and the pain to the core, you wouldn't be the best version of you in order to deal with this new pain. And in order to get through pain, to reach the next level of our lives, to find our purpose, we have to go through it. We have to be willing to suffer. And the more you can suffer, the greater your blessing will be. As Romans 8:18 says, for the trials we are facing now are in comparison to nothing that the triumphs will be in our future. I paraphrased, but I use my own words, but that's essentially what it says. Romans 8:18. The trials we face now are nothing for the triumphs that come our way in the future. We just have to fight. Here's another point while I'm talking about the Bible. You know King David, the greatest king of all time. David and Goliath slayed the son of a gun himself, the one, the only. Did you know when he was anointed to be king of God's people, he was 12 years old? He was a humble shepherd's boy that didn't even know how to throw a punch, had never even picked up a sword, and spent decades watching over sheep, doing what God wanted him to do. And then after God moved and shifted and crumbled dynasties and brought kingdoms down and opened and closed doors, then it was finally David's time. Maybe you're just in that process. Maybe you're just going through the things you're supposed to learn before you can become a king, before you can become a queen. Maybe you're just going through the process of princess or princeship. Who's to say, who's to know? Two bombs for that one. Yes, sir, Bob. Your third clip of your second segment of the day, my friends, features another man I am a massive fan of, a man who I cannot wait for the day that I get to sit across that old oak table. I don't know if it's old or not. I don't even know if it's fucking oak. With those red curtains behind me and that spaceship in front of me and his beautiful bald head looking me square in the eyes, talking to him about motivation, inspiration, pool, aliens, and all types of crazy shit. I cannot wait. I'm going to be one of the first people to go on that show that has him talking about pool. You just wait. I'm speaking it into existence. The man, the myth, the legend. If you're a fan, you know who I'm talking about. The one and only JRE himself, Joe Rogan, here today to give us some perspective. Couple years back, looks a little younger Joe Rogan. Not that he looks old or anything, but he just a little bit younger, Joe. And it's so cool to see how he grows and continues to get better and his mindset refines. You'll see what I mean as Joe joins us this morning and gives us some perspective on why we should be the hero.
Be the hero of your own movie. If your life was a movie and it started now, forget about whatever financial disasters you've had, personal failures, relationship failures. What would the hero of your life's movie do right now? Do that. Do those things. We define ourselves far too often by our past failures. We look at our past and we say, well, that's me. That's not you. You are this person right now. You're the person who's learned from those failures, and you can choose to be the hero of your own movie right now. Write down your goals. Write down things you want to improve. Write down things you won't tolerate from yourself. Write down things that you've done in the past that you never want to see yourself do again, and go forth from here as the hero of your own movie. Build momentum. Build confidence and momentum with each good decision that you make from here on out. You can do it. Anyone can do it. We live in unique times. We live in one of the rarest times in human history where you can choose almost all the input that comes your way. Whether it's the movies that you watch, the books you read, the podcasts you listen to, you can choose to be inspired. Do that. Do that and be the hero of your own movie.
One thing, sidebar, what I've always found funny, We have the same punched-in tooth. I got smacked with a baseball when I was a kid, and then fighting made it even better. And we got the same fucking one. It's hilarious. I've always thought that was funny. Probably talked to him about that too, and wonder how that story actually came about for him. But be the hero in your story. I said it yesterday. You know, you like to watch a horror movie or an action thriller, a suspenseful, gripping the seats, the armchairs of your seat the whole time. Ah! Right? We all love those type of movies. Imagine yourself in that movie, right? And you've had that point in the movie where it's the most suspenseful, the climax. Oh my gosh. And you're screaming, come on, dumbass, just do it. Shit, what is wrong with you? You just want that main character to do the damn thing you know they need to do, but they just keep fucking dancing around it because you know it's got to build suspense and you know it's got to go. But why are you dancing around it, you asshole? So if you were the main star, you were the hero of that movie, what would the audience in the theater be screaming at the screen trying to get you to do? And that's the exact thing you need to work on. That's the exact thing you need to go after. That's the exact move you need to make. And I know when you think about that, it goes, ooh, I don't want to. That gets me a pit in my stomach. Ooh, there's some butterflies. Oh, no, that's a little anxiety. Oh, is that anxiety? Or are you just excited? Is that anxiety about some fear and you got to forget everything that you've learned up to this point and recede because you got a little anxiety? Or are you just excited because you finally get to use every piece of shit you've been through up to this point to right now to reach the next level? Are you anxious? Are you excited? Are you ready to be that hero? Start writing the things down. Start making the lists. You know, me and JK had a conversation yesterday. Start writing things down. What do you do in 24 hours? How are you utilizing your time? What are certain things that you will and won't do? Can you write down your demands to go back to the beginning of the week? Can you write down the things that you want out of this life? And if you cannot write down your demands, how can you ever expect to find the resource? It's that simple. Who's say, who's to know? Be the hero in your own story. Your fourth and final clip of the morning, my friends. Whew. This one here's a banger. I need to have you hear me loud and clear. I need you to open your ear holes wide as we slide into your fourth and final clip of your reaction refinery. Whoo, boy, that is going to probably smack a few people square in the soul. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. We watch your fourth and final clip of the day with some perspective on the fence.
And he says he had a dream. And in his dream, he was in an open grass field, and the grass field was split by a fence. And on one side of the fence was Satan, and on the other side of the fence was God. And Satan looks at him and he says, which one do you want? You want God or you want me? He's like, if you come over here, I'll give you all you want. I'll give you everything you want. But if you go with God, you don't get everything I'm offering you. And so this guy's contemplating. He's like, oh man, Jesus, like, you're there, you're so good, but man, Satan, there's some things that I really enjoyed. So he laughs at both of them, and he sits on the fence. He says, I don't have to choose either of you. I can be on both sides of you at the same time. And as he's laughing and scoffing at Satan and God, it goes black. And out of the darkness comes Satan. And the man goes, no, Satan, like, I didn't choose you. I sat on the fence, so I got a little bit of Jesus and I got a little bit of you. And Satan grabs him by the arm, and grips him really hard, and says, the fence belongs to me.
Bruh.
Get off the fence. Get off the fucking fence. Lock the fuck in. If that does not speak to you and tell you what you need to do in order to find things you want to find in this life, and I'm not sitting here just blowing blasphemies out into nothing, I don't know what will. If you are not all the way in for the one who got you here, the one who put you here, If you are still bought into the things of this world and you play a little bit here, but I got Jesus, I wear this around my neck, but I play a little bit. You're not doing it right. You're not doing what he wants to do. I said to somebody yesterday, are you living life like Jesus is sitting right next to you? Hey, right in the passenger seat. Right there, every single moment. Are you doing that? No, yeah, kind of. Then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. If you wouldn't do that, if you wouldn't live like that, if you wouldn't talk like that, if you wouldn't act like that, if you wouldn't do that thing, if he was sitting right there, then what are you doing it right now for? Because I promise you he is. He's right there. We are constantly straddling the fence of our lives, and he offers the green pastures ready and willing. But far too often, we just straddle that fence, go to church on Sunday, get a little something, then fuck off all week. Do whatever, listen to the wrong things, watch the wrong things, tap into the wrong things. Then, we get a little bit of God on Sunday, little bit of Sunday. Make sure I go to church, and that's gonna cleanse me of all my sins, and let Jesus know, hi, I'm still here, Jesus. Hi, Jesus. But back to my sins, he can't see me. He can't. When I'm out of the church, Jesus can't see me. That's how stupid you look, and you're literally sitting on a fence. And the one that doesn't give a damn about you is the one who owns the fence. Think about that today as you go throughout the rest of it. And maybe not just today, maybe the rest of your damn life. Who's to say, who's to know? There's your 4 clips on your second segment of the show. The fence, be the hero, punishment, or purpose, and get the lesson. My friends, that's all we got coming your way in the second segment of the day. It's time to get into your third and final segment of the day and connect with you, the live viewer, baby. So without any further hesitation or delay, let's get right on into it. It's time for your Answers from the Anvil. Alrighty then, my friends. Here we are back live in prime time for your third and final segment of the day, your Answers from the Anvil. Here live in prime time on episode 695 of Forge and Fuel on this wonderful Wednesday morning, March the 26th, 2025. And I hope you're really ready to come alive because, well, you're already alive. What am I talking about? Speaking of alive, you guys have been alive in the chat all morning long. I've been seeing you hopping and popping, all types of thoughts, perspectives, laughs, things going on over there.
Oh, yeah!
And here's a reminder for you, if maybe you haven't been in the chat and you're tuning in live on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, and you got something burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering deep down on the soul, now is your opportunity to get it out right here, right now. Drop it over there in the live chat, and DEEZYY is going to shift me up, and we're going to start popping those out one at a time and see what y'all amazing human beings have got to say on this beautiful Wednesday. So without further ado, DEEZYY, you know what to do, my guy. Who we got out there on this beautiful Monday? What the fuck? Beautiful Wednesday. Chris Aswomana! Great morning, Diamond Hand fam. Have a spectacular day, everyone. Have a spectacular day yourself, good sir. Appreciate the hell out of you tuning in live in prime time. Thanks for starting your day the right way, baby. Anthony! Delta 24, happy day, peeps. Let's donut. Donut on the mind. What? Huh? Someone's dreaming about donuts today, says Mama Capp. Kim Jones live in the building. Donut? I think she meant do it. Who's to say, who's to know? Did she mean do it? Deej, you want to pop that one up too? Maybe pop up what she meant by that one? Who's to say, who's to know? Just right below there. I meant do it. There you go. Who's to say, who's to know? So what everybody was saying. She was thinking about donuts, but who's to say, who's to know? Shout out Anthony. Appreciate you. JK Big Time, crush the day, my man. Great morning to you. Appreciate you being in here. Little perspective. Stop thinking about it and just go for it. You don't have to jump off a cliff or anything wild. Just take a step. I like that. Just take one step. Shout out to you, Mr. Big Time. Appreciate the perspective this morning. Mrs. Metal, one half of the Metal Crazies. Great morning, fam. Today's reminder is someday everything will make perfect sense. For now, laugh at the confusion, smile through the tears, stay strong, and keep reminding yourself you are irreplaceable. Shout out, Mrs. Metal. Love that perspective. Appreciate you always being live in prime time, giving us some good thoughts in the morning. Grammy P, roll out the red carpet. The Queen's in the building. GP, great morning, family. Let's crush the day. Be the light. Blessings to all. Blessings right back your way, GP. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here, as per usual. Angel SD, one of our West Coast connections. Great morning, Mr. Peguero. Great morning, FNF crew. Hope you're having a solid start to the day, good sir. Appreciate you tuning in live in prime time, as always. The beautiful Bella Rossi, a.k.a. Mama Snow. Fantastic morning, everyone. Have a great day. You have a great day yourself, young lady. Appreciate you starting it the right way. Kim Jones, each fear I overcome makes me rise to a new and impressive level. Not impossible, I am possible. Damn straight, Mama Bear. Man, she gets it. She gets it. Who's to say, who's to know? Fear lets you fold or flourish. Hope you guys enjoyed that topic today. Who else we got out there, D's? Our friends over at Albright's Fur Farm, Jared Albright himself. Great morning, everyone. I'm eating all the donuts I want today. Dang it. Maybe I can get a butt before the dance party. Shout out, Jared. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the laugh. Thanks for being live in prime time all morning long. Who else we got out there? Live Dog, Livingston, GMGM, Diamond Handers. Great morning, Live Doggy Dog. Appreciate you being live in prime time, as per usual. Shout out to you, my guy. Her World of Makeup, our girl Gabrielle, a.k.a. Mrs. Gilu. I have a friend who is a UFC fighter, Alex Perez. I read that earlier. I know exactly who Alex Perez is. That's fucking hilarious. From Fresno, California. Now he has his own gym in the OC, 100%. Not gun, gym in the OC, and still fights. Pretty cool. Known him since I was 13. Super proud of him. He never gave up on his dream. I know exactly who Alex is. A fucking scrapper. One of my favorite fighters in that fucking division. The boy has always been a fucking scrapper. He fights like a Mexican. I mean, it's the best compliment I can fucking give anybody. I mean, jeepers creepers, you tell somebody you fight like a fucking Mexican, and that's just like, well, shit, you just told me you love me. I mean, fuck yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Damn, hey, we gotta, you know what I would love is having fucking Alex Perez on this show and having some convo. So, it may mean you need connect after this show, Mrs. Gilu. Who's to say, who's to know? Shout out to you. Appreciate you being live in prime time with your man, Mr. Gilu, GMGM fam. Great morning, Mr. Gilu. Appreciate you being live in the prime time. Some bombs from Dimitri Liakos. Great morning, Dimitri. I hope you're feeling better. Hope the recovery's going well. Shout out to you. Great to see you live in prime time, as always. Mama Capp, get off the fence. It belongs to the wrong one. Woo! I'm telling you, wasn't that some fire flame? Oh, that don't smack you in the soul. I don't know what will. Ha! Well, my friends, there you have it. Your 1, 2, and 3 segments of this wonderful Wednesday. And we are almost right at 30 minutes after the top of the hour, so we are doing just perfect. But before we wrap this bad boy up for the day, officially paper or plastic, put a bow on that Shumama Beach, we'd like to remind you of a few things. First and foremost, Decoding the Divide, back live in prime time tonight. If you don't remember where we're at, we're on the second half of corporate control. What's all going on there? You see it happening behind me. Ooh, we're talking about real estate, consumer goods. Ooh, we're talking about some good stuff tonight. And who might just own all of these things? We got a lot of stuff to tackle, so make sure you tune in and you just might begin to believe. We got plenty of red pills and rabbit holes for you live in prime time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. specifically. If you'd like to connect with us before then, well, you can hop on over into the Gateway. That is the home of the Diamond Hand fam, and where we connect post-show about many different things, not only these shows, but mental, physical, financial growth, and all sorts of things in between. If you're looking for a rock-solid network dedicated to your consistent, persistent pursuit and passion, well, my friends, we got it for you. Look no further. Check it out in this episode's description. You can find the link to the Gateway down there, as well with Mine and Shine Apparel and all sorts of other pertinent things to the Diamond Hand Media Group. And while you're perusing through those links tonight, like our Rumble, or right now, tonight, I was thinking about Rumble tonight. I said it too fast. While you're perusing through those links right now, and maybe you're looking for the Rumble so you can tune in tonight, or the X, whatever it might be, and you're looking for everything pertinent, maybe you could take a moment to subscribe to whatever channel you're on. Maybe turn on a notification bell so you don't miss any content, live shows, or anything in between on the shows or the channels or the platforms. Damn, English is hard right now. What the hell is going on with me? For crying out, I think I need a fresh cup of coffee. I don't know what the hell is going on. What I'm trying to tell you, if you could just take a quick moment to absolutely smash the shit out of whatever button you see on your screen, it only helps us continue to grow and flow and make this show and all the shows that fall under the Diamond Hand Media Group umbrella bigger and better for each and every one of you. Well, my friends, that's all we've got coming your way on this wonderful Wednesday. Hump Day! March the 26th, 2025. Hope you've come alive and you're ready to crush this day, as our guy JK would say. It's time to make like geese and get the flock out. Make like a banana and split. Make like a tree and leaf. But not before we remind you of 3 key and critical things. Number 1, even a 2-year-old can make an excuse.
What?
Number 2, even a dead fish can go with the flow.
What?
And number 3, being that this here show is a member of the Diamond Hand Media Group, I ask you keep in mind that DHMG, we don't only HOLD, we hold each other up. And right now is one hell of a time to flex those diamond hands. Shout out to all you beautiful human beings flexing those diamond hands on a day in and day out, night in and night out basis. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. Thanks for investing your most valuable assets with us here this morning, your time and your attention. Could have invested them 1,000,001 other ways, and the fact that you invested them here, we are forever grateful. And we'll pay back that investment to you, give you some high-quality ROI by showing up each and every day on the consistent, persistent pursuit of our passions and being right by your side while you pursue yours. Until our paths cross again, my friends, wherever we might see you, you know what the vibes shall be. But until then, friends and family, we officially bid thee adieu. And we say unto you, peace and love.
You listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. Is your landlord ready to